Good morning, everyone. As you can see here, this is MacBook Pro 13.3 inch, A1989, A2159, A2251, A2289. Okay, this is from 2018 to 2020, most of the time compatible, the same model screen replacement. So if I turn it on, I can see there are a lot of rainbows on the left hand side because the screen has gone. And nowadays I found most of the screen has gone just for silly mistakes like to leaving the pen inside, in between the keyboard and the Mac, or the charging cable is strong enough to break that silly screen, which is really expensive. So we got the screen replacement, and today in this video I'm going to show you how to replace it. Let's check the replacement screen that you have if you got the right model, because sometimes you might receive the different model, right? That's the first thing. And then also you should have the screwdriver set. Some supplier, where you buy the replacement screen from, they do supply all the tools that you need to get the job done. For example, screwdrivers. For this MacBook Pro 2020 model, 13-inch one, you need all the screwdrivers that I'm saying now, which is T8.1, T5.1, and then T3, 1.2, 0.8. So you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screwdrivers. Once again, T8, T5, T3, 1.2, 0.8. Okay, so first of all, we're going to switch it off and take out all the screws from the back. And I'm going to wear the gloves because it's always safe to do so. But obviously, I don't enjoy it. It's not that much comfortable when you work with gloves, but it's safe to do. Okay. And here is all the screwdriver. I'm going to double check if I have everything because I don't want to see any sort of interruption. So I can see everything is right here, and that is supplied from the manufacturer. And always power it down. Make sure there is no charging cable connected. Double check the screwdriver. Use P5 pentalobe driver to remove the 6 screws. Top 2 of them are quite long because they hold the hinges, and rest of them are shorter. It's always good to organize screwdrivers because you're going to be surprised with mixing up things. You have to remove many screws, all different sizes, through this repair. And taking out the back plate is quite challenging. It takes some time to figure out how to take this out. So I'm going to use a suction cap and then just make a gap at the bottom side, lower bottom side, and then I'm going to use guitar pick to make some gap. It's going to make some sort of cracking noise, don't be surprised. And then when you take this off, you need to pull towards you a little bit to make a gap in between the anchor and the hinges. Okay, it might take some time to figure out, but that should be fine. So the first thing is here, not to touch any component of the motherboard, especially if you don't have gloves. So what are you going to do? We're going to disconnect the battery so it don't damage anything. Pull out this tab and follow the instruction. Use the tip of a spudger to flip up the small black locking tape securing the cable its connector. Okay, that's the thing. And once you remove the cable, there is a screw underneath which secure the battery connector. Okay, so this is the actual battery connector. We're going to take this off and make a gap in between the main board and the battery connector. Why I need to do that? Because this is potential hazard. If you don't follow that, that might damage the camera, true tune function lost, may damage the motherboard, resulting failure to operate normally. So this is the things that you need to focus. Afterwards, we're going to take out more screws to get this job done. Okay, as I said from the beginning, keep the screws organized. This is the most crucial part. Okay, now we're going to work with the main part, okay? And here are many different screws. We're going to use T3 screwdriver. Make sure you keep all the screws organized because all the screws are different in sizes, okay? And this part is really sensitive because we're going to disconnect the flex connector for the display and also two sensor springs there. So we have to be very careful, and that should be fine. I believe you can use T3 screwdriver for all the way long. And after that, we're going to disconnect Wi-Fi antenna assembly, and then we can separate this panel by removing hinge screws, okay? So at this step, we're going to remove the antenna cable assembly. There are 6 and 6, two tiny screws. All right, it's very easy to take out, but very difficult to put it back because there is no any magnetic effect on the screwdriver, okay? So keep them. You can just put it together because all of them same in size. And then there is another little longer screws next to the heatsink or heat pipe, okay? And this single screw secure the antenna connector. Very gently pinch it, disconnect it, and then we need to take this out under the heat pipe, okay? Make sure when you pull this off, you take your time and see how to figure it out. So at this step, we're going to take out a total 5 screws from the display board, which secures the Wi-Fi antenna and the display board together. So keep those out and keep organized. It's the time to remove hinge's plastic cover. Each cover is secured with 2 screws. So use the T3 screwdriver to take out those screws. Keep left on the left, right on the right. So now we can remove 6 hinge screws, which is T8, 3 in both sides, and this is the biggest screw for this replacement, so you need heavy pressure and strength to take those out. It seems it's impossible, but when you try, it's going to come out. And then carefully, we're going to separate the screen panel from the actual main board. Okay, what you need to do, you can place like that. Make sure the surface is flat. And then when you pull out the broken screen, it should be more than 90-degree angle. And it would be easier to remove like that. As you can see, gently take this out, exactly like that. If you try less than 90-degree angle, that wouldn't come out. So as you can see from outside, the screen looks pretty good, but inside is broken. Clean the surface, take the new replacement, remove all the packaging and everything, and please be extra careful in this side, because as you can see, those connectors and stuff, they are flimsy, fragile, easy to break, easy to damage the screen. So be gentle when you do that. Take some extra time and do it, especially when you remove those tape. Be careful, because when you pull out, that might damage the actual flex. So now you remember I told you more than 90-degree angle, so the hinges has to be more than 90-degree, like around 110. And then we're going to close it together, keep all the cables tidy, and place it there. I'm going to keep the packaging. I just want to see how it goes. Okay, take some extra time. Okay, and figure it out. It should go. I try my best to keep the video standard speed, not to cut any part from here, so that I can show you how struggling it is to do. And I'm going to put some screws in that position by holding up the trackpad like that. Yeah. If this is first time for you, then I would suggest you take some assistance from somebody else. Let them to hold it while you tighten the screws. Good. And then finally, what you're going to do, we're going to reverse back everything. Okay. And still, if you do have any question, don't forget to leave it in the comment section, guys. And if you do like any part of this video, please don't forget to share and like it. Thank you.